Hello, listeners. Welcome back to our channel. You are highly welcome, and this remains Nelly's TV, where we bring you news and news analysis, history and history analysis. Today, we are bringing a very sad one, a very sad one. There is something dangerous going on, and it just started happening yesterday. Today's date is 14th of June 2025, and this incident started happening yesterday, being June 13, 2025. You can see my mouse on your screen, 13th June. And that is a very serious war between Israel and Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, recall that sometime last year, there was a little fracas between these two countries, Israel and Iran, when Israel discovered that some weapons being used by Hamas, the terrorist organization Hamas, and the other terrorist organization Hezbollah came from Iran. Recall that Hamas is an organization based in Palestine, while Hezbollah is a terrorist organization based in Lebanon. These two organizations really hate Israel and wouldn't want Israel to survive. So they've been fighting, they've been attacking Israel from different angles, and Israel later found out that some of the weapons they were using came from Iran. So since then, Israel has been raising alarm that Iran supports terrorist organizations and terrorism by equipping these organizations with weapons. So, exactly what exactly led to this renewed crisis is not yet known, but these are some pending issues that have been a problem between these two countries. So Israel had been telling Iran to stop her nuclear weapon program, and Iran on its own has been saying that it has the right to go into weapon manufacturing as a country, which in a way is true, but the problem now is that the weapons are filtering into the hands of terrorist organizations. So the world, not only Israel, has been telling Iran to stop their nuclear program, but that has not been heeded to by Iran, and so it looks like Israel now wants to decimate the nuclear base of Iran in order to stop further enrichment of nuclear weapons in that country. So on the 13th, yesterday, Israel launched an attack against Iran and bombarded their nuclear sites, and the Prime Minister of Israel came up to make this speech, which we are going to listen to briefly. Just pay attention.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat very soon. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons.
So he's saying that Iran has always called for the decimation of Israel, and all those attacks. And they are working on their nuclear program to develop nuclear weapons, and Israel is feeling that all this enrichment of nuclear weapons just to get themselves strong enough to launch an attack, maybe a surprise one on Israel in any time.
In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
So you see the issue. So Israel is like trying to act proactively on what it thinks that Iran is going to do, because Iran has openly confronted Israel verbally and even threatened Israel. Recall that last year, Iran launched a lot of missiles against Israel, but Israel was lucky that none of them got to a very sensitive location within the city. Almost all of them went outside the city and got exploded. And according to reports, there were more than 100 of such very big, lethal, terrible missiles.
80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with actions. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
Okay, so you get that? So like I earlier presented, Israel is playing a preventive measure here, because if you listen to Netanyahu, he said that they will not sit down and watch Israel's enemy develop weapons that they may use to decimate Israel in future. So that is exactly what is going on here.
Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel.
Okay, I was saying it was more than 100. He's saying here that there were more than 300 ballistic missiles which Iran fired against Israel last year. And recall that after that, Israel replied by firing 3 missiles to Iran, but they didn't really want to destroy anything. So they landed the missile near some of their facilities, like this particular nuclear base, their oil sector, oil company, and their power generation company. Those 3 places, they targeted them. They targeted the environment and exploded the bombs there. And according to analysts, it was a warning to tell Iran that, look, we know where these things are located and we can actually target them and destroy them, but we are just warning you people. So, and that was how the escalation, the crisis fizzled out last year, and now it has continued. It has come again, and it is very terrible. I will show us more videos.
Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000s of those ballistic missiles within 3 years.
Okay, so you see, when somebody knows what another person knows, and these people are enemies, you see, this is how it works. And let us continue to show us things, more things in the development of this crisis. Now, look at this one. So, after the strike by Israel on Iran's nuclear sites, these gentlemen here were massacred. They include, look at it, the Iranian IRGC commanders, that is their military commanders and nuclear scientists. They lost their lives in the attack launched by Israel. So this is what has been going on and the escalation is even increasing. Now, in the midst of this, Donald Trump wrote a tweet which was further published by his vice, J.D. Vance. And he said, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, but no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come. So Trump is telling them in clear terms that Israel has American weapons, and these are very dangerous, very lethal weapons. All right? And they know how to use it. That is, Israel knows how to use the American lethal weapons. Certainly, Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now. You see, the people who argue with him, they have gone. They've lost their lives, and it will only get worse. So Trump is telling them that this thing is going to get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it is too late. God bless you all. Okay, that was Trump tweeting. You see, somehow Trump has tried to quell all these escalations. I remember when he invited Zelensky in order to, quell the escalation between Ukraine and Russia. But Zelensky was always on the side of that he wants support, military support, financial support to defeat Russia. And he told Zelensky, you are in a very grave danger. Your people are dying. Okay? And Zelensky went back and listened to Europe, and they told him that they are going to support him financially and otherwise to defeat Russia. So their own is just to defeat Russia. And look, I want to tell us, men and brethren, these globalists, they have an agenda, and the agenda is always disastrous. It's always against the people. They're always looking for a way to raise war, and I'm afraid what is happening between Israel and Iran now may be a very dangerous thing. In fact, many have predicted that this is going to lead to Third World War. I'm going to show us more pictures, then we continue with the analysis. Okay, look at this picture. According to the source, this is the activities of Iranian ballistic missile in Israel. This place is Israel, according to the report. I don't really know how true it is, because many pictures are beginning to pop up suggesting that it is as a result of the attack. I also saw this, but I don't trust this one very much, because I also saw a kind of this kind of video last year where when Iran was firing the over 300 ballistic missiles. So I think this one is not accurate. We are going to proceed to a report presented by a Fox News reporter here, and we are going to listen to him, to his report.
Yeah, John Sandra, you saw those live images. Israel is under a massive ballistic missile barrage. I've reported here for nearly 7 years and never seen such an attack against an Israeli city.
You see, this journalist is saying that he has reported for 7 years in Israel and he has never seen such a barrage of attack against Israel. So that's to tell you that it is massive.
The amount of air defense that you saw going off there it's unprecedented. It appears that they are targeting some of the centrally located positions in Tel Aviv. Remember, Israel's Ministry of Defense, the Kiryat, their version of the Pentagon, is located just a couple miles from here. The fact that they had to start using those short-range missile defense systems indicates that this is a direct attack on Israel's second largest city. We don't.
Okay, so there is really a very massive attack against Israel, and they are targeting Tel Aviv to destroy some of their most important facilities.
Don't know what's happening in other areas, and we have to wait and gather more information to get a full understanding of what was targeted. But from what we could see and what you saw in those live images, massive explosions rocking the skyline. You could hear the explosions, flashes of light in Tel Aviv. That's when we made the decision to get a little bit more cover because this is an unprecedented moment for Israel.
Okay, so that was that, and that was Fox News journalists reporting directly from Israel. So you can see that things are really getting very, very bad. Okay, let's see this one. This is also very recently today. Look at it. So that is the some of the attacks going on there. I'm going to remove the sound. Okay, so what I'm trying to present here is that there is a very serious issue going on. And then somebody may say, okay, so how does it concern us? How does it concern those of us in Africa? Look, let me tell you. These globalists, they have a very terrible agenda, like I have pointed out earlier. Okay, and whatever they do, don't ignore it. Don't just overlook it as if it doesn't matter. It really matters, because somehow it will begin to connect. Now, if this thing escalates to a third world war, and if it gets to the point that they begin to use nuclear weapon, I can tell you without charging you a penny that the whole world will suffer for it. And look, let me tell us, Africa is not prepared for this kind of war. Africa, I can't remember any African country that has any preventive measure for nuclear weapons, because only the air pollution can really end the lives of many people. So which country in Africa has the capacity to take care of the atmosphere, to take care of the air that people will be breathing within this period? All these weapons will be exploding. So you look at it that way. Now, I also want to look at the political side of it, because whatever these globalists do, there is a political side to it. You know that United States and Russia have always been on the opposing sides. If United States pitches on the right, Russia will pitch on the left, and it doesn't matter whether United States is supporting is good or bad, if they will just pitch opposite. All right. So it has also been alleged that Russia is supporting Iran. And remember that Iran, the weapons from Iran have been found in the hands of two terrorist organizations that are against Israel. Now we saw the post by Trump clearly stating that United States have supplied some weapons to Israel, and Israel has a lot of them and they know how to use them. So that means United States is going to support Israel. And what it means is that Russia may support Iran. I don't know, but that has always been the game plan, the way they act. So if Russia supports Iran and United States supports Israel, then it's going to be a proxy war between Russia and the United States. So what do these people stand to gain from this war? I mean, it is terrible. And let me also tell us that once United States supports Israel, other European countries will also follow suit and support Israel. A country like Germany, Britain, and some other European countries, France, they will begin to also queue behind the United States to support Israel. And countries like North Korea, China, and so on will begin to queue behind Russia to support Iran. And what is it going to lead to? Countries will now begin to attack the other countries that are supporting their enemy countries. And the number of countries involved in the war will continue to increase. Let us also not forget that Russia has made an alliance recently with Burkina Faso. So could it also be that maybe they want to distract Russia with this war so that when Russia focuses on supporting Iran against Israel, these other globalists will invade Burkina Faso? Could it be? Or could it be that they want to distract Russia so that as Russia is trying to support Iran, they will invade Russia through Ukraine? Anything is possible. I'm just trying to tell you how these people reason and what could be a possible reason behind this. It may not be the original reason, okay? It may not be the original reason, but it could be, it could play out in the course of the crisis, all right? Because these guys, you never can tell what they are up to. They can do anything. They can decide anything, and they can act in any way at any point in time in their interest. They are all what they are interested in is their own personal interest. So how prepared are we, those of us from Africa, how prepared are we? How prepared are our countries? And how prepared are we as individuals? Remember also that even if you are in Africa and you say you are far from these European countries, you may have some loved ones in Europe and America and other countries. You may even have loved ones in Israel and Iran. So if it doesn't affect you directly, it may affect you indirectly. So I will just here to present to you analysis of what is going on, that there is a very serious full-blown war going on between Israel and Iran. And if you know what to do, if you can pray, pray. If you can do anything, do on your own to see how this situation may not really get into your nerves or make life more difficult for you. So thank you very much for stopping by, and please check back for more updates, news analysis, history analysis, and so on and so forth. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do well to subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you once again for watching, and do have a nice day. Bye for now.